We could create copies, so we'll just do that, because we can end the game like that, right? 2 copies of our dragon, and now we can end the game. But we could also return a whole bunch of stuff, like Arcavios. We could return this. We don't need to do any of that, though. Submit 0. And I just want to show you that we have, like, plenty more stuff. We can get stuff back from the bin. We have Arcavios again. We can shuffle our graveyard into our library. It's completely broken. And we're going to get these back to our hand. So now you just recast them. And as long as we find our Arcavios at some point, let me do it. Let me do it. Come on. No. Anyway, yo, what's up, everybody? Thank you so much for checking out the video. This one goes a little bit deeper than just reanimating Omniscience. I promise. There's one interaction that I really want to make sure that no one misses, because this deck has been popping up here and there. I even made a video on it a little bit ago, and we will be using our sideboard, and I'll come back and talk about the best of 3 sideboard there in a second. But really, we're using the best of 1 mostly. You should be able to end the game 99 out of 100 times, given you have just a few starting pieces. Now, the first interaction that I want to talk about, Invasion of Arcavios lets you search your sideboard, so that's what we're doing. We're going to be able to find these blue cards that draw us a whole bunch of cards. Season of Weaving is basically a draw 5 with some other notable modes, and you have a Step Between Worlds, which very importantly will get stuff back from your graveyard back into your deck so you can draw them again while drawing 7 at the same time. So great stuff there. Now with our Invasion of Arcavios, you do want to bounce it back to your hand with Marang River Regent, so then you can find another card, so then you can keep drawing cards, so then you can first of all lay your entire deck, while also, you know, being able to get your Season of Weaving again, making more copies of your Marang, and then Marang can, you know, when it enters, that copy enters, you'll be able to bounce this back again, so you'll be able to access again your whole sideboard, given that you have 3 Season of Weavings. Well, potentially not your whole sideboard, but you really aren't going to need to. The other card that I thought about putting in the main list that is sort of our win con in a way is Push the Limit here. Now, what's really notable is Calamity is in here. So Calamity is a mount. So this can very notably get your Calamity back while also giving all your other creatures haste. So this will basically be a I win button, especially if you've made a few copies of your Marang and you've bounced your Arcavios a few times. You're going to feel really good. Notably, at that point, you can probably draw into your Darksteel Colossus, which is just another nice little trample guy. Now, this would be really, really cute to make copies with your Calamity, but you should have enough Marangs that, again, you're going to be able to win the game. The other card that really pushes the damage through is Frostcliff Siege. Now, this is a way of giving your Calamity, making it a 5-power guy, making, if you have 2 Marangs, then they're 7-power guys with haste. Anything that goes to your bin, being able to bring it back as well is kind of insane, especially when they're draw cards like our really important 2-drops. Chart of Course here, very good. You know what this is doing in this deck. And of course, the Roiling Dragonstorm. Now, you could bounce this with Marang, but just when you cast it or copy it, you'll be able to return these and keep drawing through your whole deck. So eventually, you'll find your counter spells, which basically protect you, right, from any sort of weird interaction that could happen. This is also a pay 4, notably a little bit better than this, unless you're casting this early to just not immediately die. Because sometimes, again, the only way that you don't get this off is if, you know, they immediately remove the Omniscience upon you reanimating it with Abuelos, or they counter the Abuelos. There are a few ways, right? It's not foolproof, but counters certainly help. So anyway, have a few of those. And there's one in particular that I want to make sure no one misses as well, which is Refute. So imagine turn 3, you know, you have your Omniscience in hand. You first of all counter their spell, so again, buying you some time in case things go sour, drawing a card, getting deeper into your deck, and discarding that Omniscience to the bin so that you can find your Abuelos and keep it going. And then when Abuelos or anything goes into the bin, again, you're going to be able to just get it back with Step Between Worlds. And so eventually you'll find your Darksteel, eventually you'll find your Calamity. You're going to have a lot of copies of this. You're going to give them all haste with Frostcliff, or you're going to search Push the Limit here and give all your creatures haste while getting your Calamity back. It's just basically saving you time. These things are just all about saving time because, again, you're going to draw through your entire deck, I promise. By the way, if you find this interesting at all, be sure to give it a like. Consider subscribing. Thank you for over 700. That means the world to me. So we do have a Zombify in case we really just need to get a Calamity back or our Marang back. Because when Marang enters, we get our Roiling Dragonstorms back. And, you could bounce other Marangs, so then you can do the draw 3 if you really need to. And then you're not worried because you're eventually going to make a copy of it with your Season of Weavings and bounce this back and continue the craziness. So it feels like a puzzle to have the right number of copies so that you don't immediately die, and being able to have enough card draw to actually just keep the chain going. But Arcavios is the key. I just want to make sure that no one misses that. I do have a video already if you're interested in my previous version, but Marang really pushes things over the edge, being that it's a big flying creature. Any flyers or anything in your way, you're just bouncing out of the way. And again, Calamity is going to win you the game. Darksteel is going to win you the game. Frostcliff Siege is going to win you the game. And you're going to draw through your entire deck. Push the Limit is some insurance and a great go-to win con once you've calculated you have enough damage. And then these two cards are just hilarious, really. You can't even bounce things back with Season of the Weaving to recast them if you need to. So the modality of this, all of the modes here are perfect for what we're trying to do. Now there's two cards. There's Leyline of the Void, which exiles all graveyards. Any card that goes to the graveyard goes bye-bye. There's also Rest in Peace, which is, I think, exactly the same or very similar, which could stop down your reanimating the Omniscience play. So that's where Get Lost comes in. So you could put Get Lost in the main board, just one. In fact, you probably should, but I couldn't figure out what card to take out here. So I just think that you can make the educated decision when you start testing the deck which card you could cut. You could probably cut one of the counter spells, but I wanted to have enough card draw and enough counters to pull this off, especially for recording the video so it's more consistent. And we didn't really run into Rest in Peace. Actually, we did, but we just ended up countering it. So that is something to consider here. As far as other cute little options, Season of the Burrows, kind of cute because you can exile anything that's a big problem. You can also exile your own thing to draw one more card if you really need to, which is kind of cute. And you can also make a bunch of rabbits so that your Frostcliff can give them trample and haste. Your Calamity can help close that damage as well. But again, you're not going to need to do that. And yeah, bringing back Frostcliff is huge here. Board wipe, because maybe they just like super went so wide all of a sudden. You could also return your Marang to the battlefield if you end up killing your own Marang, which is kind of insane. You have Complete the Circuit here, which, especially when you're casting cards for free. This is just overkill, though, but I just thought I'd point it out as something interesting you could do. You have Time Stop, because, again, everything is free, so it might be nice to have a cute little Time Stop. You have cards like Full Throttle, right? Which, especially with Calamity here, you are going to be able, you could almost put Full Throttle for Push the Limit, but Push the Limit has that reanimation for Calamity. So I thought that this is just a little overkill because you, again, should be able to do it, but I could be wrong. I'm willing to be wrong. So just something that you could consider. And this is, because I've never actually cast this card, so this might be fun just to kind of troll. But again, you are shuffling things from your graveyard back into your deck. So that's kind of the angle here. You are drawing so many cards. There's cool things like Portal of Phyrexia as well that you can reanimate with Abuelos, for example, and Repair and Recharge. This is great. Because sometimes things will go sour, so sometimes it's kind of cool to just do this. You can rebuild until you draw into what you need again, right? You have Winternight Stories as well. You could use that mana that you're not using to cast it again from the Harmonize. If you do end up discarding it, or just cast it, right? Because it is a draw 3, which is really good here. And I don't think I missed any other cards. So that is basically it. We have 3 Surveils. I want 4, but I don't actually have it. But this is a great way of course, fixing your draws, as well as potentially just putting your Omniscience in the bin right then and there. So that's really good. But Scrying also kind of does make sense as well, which I happen to have, so that you don't put anything that you need if you don't have one of the Abuelos, for example. But you will be able to have 2 Omniscience on the field, and you will be able to draw. You'll have enough Abuelos in case something crazy happens to just get it back, unless they're exiling your graveyard. So that is something that you could put into your sideboard. That I think, the player, you should be able to make that decision. So very interesting deck here that is on the verge of completely busted and broken and toxic, and I don't even know how to feel about it. So a little bit of an interesting deck here today. Different than I usually do. I don't usually like to do stuff like this. I like to play a little bit more honest Magic, to be completely $150 with you. $150 rather. Yeah, so anyway, I'm re-recording this because my first intro was a little all over the place, so hopefully this was slightly less. And I do appreciate all the support again. I have 4 games for you today, all of which they ended up immediately scooping when you start the Omniscience combo. So nothing incredibly flashy for the intro, I don't think, because my first recording, actually, my webcam froze, so I don't know if I actually have good footage there. So I'm going to double check that. But anyway, guys, hope you have a great rest of your day. I'll see you in the next video, hopefully, and take care. Give this deck a try. Let me know what blatantly broken things I may have missed. There are so many other ways of going about this, notably Jace, the 4-drop Planeswalker, and Doomsday Excruciator. You could go that route. The only thing is Jace is a Planeswalker, so sometimes if you lose it, it's a little bit hard to get back. But notably, Repair and Recharge can get Planeswalkers back as well. That's something that you could do. And Doomsday is an Excruciator. Sorry, is a creature, so if it does go to the bin, a little bit weird, but you could, of course, step between worlds, but then you need to continue the chain long enough to actually redraw it again. And I figured that just having creatures and just ending the game is the way to go. And you'd be so surprised at how broken it feels when you're maranging your Arcavios over and over again, getting your 3 copies of Season of the Weaving, and making more copies of this. You won't really need more than 3. I only have 3, but you could run 4, maybe take out 1 Step Between Worlds, and there's probably something else. You could probably put a Get Lost in your main board again, but I just thought I'd make it simple because it's a little overwhelming at first for some people that may not be used to things like this. I myself am one of those people, so let me know, again, what I missed, and I'll see you in the next video, guys. All right, thanks for checking out the gameplay. Hugely appreciate it. So I can show you right now how broken this is. This hand's okay. We'll keep it. We do have the Abuelos. Zombify we can't cast, obviously, but we're all in on that Omniscience thing, so that's all we really need. We do have Refute, which is actually one of the best cards in the deck. I'll talk about that in 1 second. Do we want to draw this? Probably. It is technically card advantage. Refute can help pitch our Omniscience while countering something early in the game so we don't die, and drawing a card right. Very good. Everything that we want to do. Refute is excellent. So wow. Mono red, can we survive? The world may never know. So let's do this. Interesting. We are going to do this. We have 2 draws here. We just gotta hit a land. Not ideal stuff, but it shouldn't matter too much, my friends. This is quite the thing we are up against here. Yeah, we just chill. I was just thinking about lines, possibly. We have 2 refutes. Oh, no, sorry, we have 1. We have 2 2-drops. That are going to help us pitch our Omniscience. Once we finally get it, that's all we need. That's all we need. We're off to the races. Yeah, goodbye, come again. So let's hopefully hit the Omniscience, baby. No, but we got the land we needed, so that's good. We are going to pitch this because we can't do anything with it, right? Yeah, that makes sense. And if we can survive this turn, because they could do some mono red shenanigans. It's probably possible to die, to be honest. Yeah, let them do it. Oh, wow. That's pretty good. Alright. Omniscience time. There it is. There it is. So, little, let's see how many cards we were into our deck. 4 in there. 4. Yeah, usually you'll hit it slightly earlier than that, but it is all in, right? That's all we're trying to do. So, so you just do it. I don't think there's literally any reason not to. Boom, and then you're off to the races. So we're going to do this because it's a draw 3. Okay. We're going to get rid of our lands. Don't need them anymore. Oops. Yeah. Doesn't even matter, man. Doesn't even matter. Charta. Get rid of that. We can hold up our Spell Pierce that we just got. Charta. Absolutely broken. Goodbye, come again. I still have this in here. Whoops. I meant to sideboard that out. But now we're really going to do what we're trying to actually do is Arcavios here. So we're going to search our sideboard, right? We're going to get Season of Weaving here. So we're going to do this, and then we're going to draw 5 cards. Excellent. Wow. What do you know? So what we can do is we're going to shuffle this in. Wait, what? Oh, yeah, there it is. Sorry. Cool, cool, cool. Cool. We don't need Omniscience. Don't need another one of those. We do have our Frostcliff Siege here. So this is going to give all of our guys haste, right? So this is what we're actually trying to do here. So what we can do probably, let's start with our Charter Course. Always, you know, go with your small stuff here. Discard this. We're going to Roiling Dragonstorm. Okay. Jabami. We're going to return these to our hand once we lay our Marang here. And I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, cool. So let's lay our Marang. Okay. Excellent. We are going to grab this. Oh, no, sorry. We're going to do that with whatever. We can grab our Arcavios back. Okay. Excellent. So we're just going to keep doing this until we can win the game here, which we can pretty much do whenever we need. And then, you know, let's Arcavios. Why not? Just draw 5 with our second Season of Weaving. Now, we can also do this. So, just something to consider, but I want to show off what we're really trying to do. Did I just say no? Did I just say no? What the hell just happened? Oh, no, we grabbed it right there. Sorry. Okay, cool. Then we're going to Season of Weaving. We could create copies, so we'll just do that, because we could end the game like that, right? 2 copies of our dragon, and now we can end the game. But we could also return a whole bunch of stuff, like Arcavios. We could return this. We don't need to do any of that, though. Submit 0. And I just want to show you that we have, like, plenty more stuff. We can get stuff back from the bin. We have Arcavios again. We can shuffle our graveyard into our library. It's completely broken. Marang being the best creature. And that Frostcliff Siege is actually the only card that we have, but we are so able to draw through our entire deck. And there's actually the Calamity creature that we can draw into. So there's 2 ways of actually ending the game like that same turn. You can also get your Darksteel Colossus, copy that, and they'll have haste, right? So stuff like that, right? You just have your infinite Arcavioses. Well, not infinite, right? Like, it's hard to explain. Like, it's really just comes down to numbers and understanding the exact numbers. But you also have to have an early enough curve to actually draw into these things before you die. Like, you can see that we almost died. But it's interesting. It's very interesting. It's completely broken. This is completely broken in half. You could run more of these to increase your likelihood, but then you would have less cards to get you to that point of when you're churning infinitely, right? So the Calamity guy, which we didn't get, is rather interesting. And then, like, you shuffle all these cards back into your deck, so you have more chances of getting cards that filter and continue drawing. So it's like, it's this interesting puzzle, even though it's very straightforward in a way. But it's cool, and you can keep doing your Dragonstorms. Dragonstorm and Marang, the way they interact is what I think has broken this deck completely, in my opinion. I also think that Refute is completely perfect for what we're trying to do. Gives you that turn 3 play right before you Abuelos, which could completely set you up if you get lucky and can discard the Omniscience. We got a little bit lucky there getting on the last card. We are running 4 though, so I think that we're doing the right thing with a number of copies and stuff. So it's just, if you turn that corner, you win 100% of the time. Unless they have like a perfect spell and you have 0 counters. Like, we had 2 counters. Yeah, 2 counters. So there was no real way. It's almost hard to explain. But I was just thinking, like, because initially when I built the deck. Anyway, let's get into another game to just show you rather than talk about it. But I hope if you find any enjoyment from this, give the video a like, subscribe for more. That'd be cool. All right, so second game here. Just ate a candy bar. We have a Charter Course and we have an Omniscience. So, good enough. These lands we don't really need, right? But you can always use them as... You can get rid of them later. Again, we're trying to draw our whole deck, and it's not too impossible. So I'm hoping that this second game actually shows. This is an important piece for what we're doing here. Okay, do this. 2 more cards. Wow. Okay, awesome. Repair and Recharge can also get your Omniscience. Typically, you want your Abuelos, but now we just need actual cards. That would be good. This is another important piece. Calamity and this... Calamity drives home the point maybe a little bit more. Plus, it's cooler, which does matter a lot. It could also get removed before it swings, so there is that. So there's like a balancing act, and we got the Marangi. The Marangi. Okay, so we are big chillin'. We are just going to cast this at the end step and completely take over the game in just 1 second. And we are taking a lot of damage, but again, shouldn't really matter. Yeah, man, it's completely busted. It's pretty toxic as well, as I probably said last game. It is not... I don't know. Okay. So that threatens to destroy our guy. But they tapped out like an idiot. Alright, wonderful. We're going to keep that in our hand. We don't need these lands. Okay. So we're going to get a second one, right? In case they end up destroying that. In case we can't pop off for whatever reason. But we have this. So you get your guy. Hello. You cast this for freezy beezies. What we're going to do is we're going to get... I think you're going to start with your Season of Weaving. We're going to come back for Step Between Worlds. So get your Season of Weaving, right? You cast this. You draw 100 cards. You could also copy things and bring stuff back. Okay? We're just going to do this because get these out of the way. Oh my god, let me do it, dude. Let me do it. I respect it. I would probably quit as well, given we have all these cards and we can cast them for free and they're tapped out. But you lay your second Arcavios, okay? You... Step Between Worlds, you're also laying your Roiling Dragonstorm. You're finding your Marangs, okay? Step Between Worlds shuffles your graveyard back into your deck. So anything that goes to the graveyard, by the way, can come back. Your Calamity is going to come down at some point. You could also find your Darksteel Colossus. You're either going to copy a whole bunch of Darksteels or your Marangs. Marang is also going to be able to return these to our hand for free. We can also return any creatures that may be in our way. But again, Marang can return those creatures to their hand. Frostcliff Siege is more insurance, and it is an artifact, so that kind of does matter for Abuelo's Awakening and Recharge. So there's like implications. We have 2 Omnisciences in our hand, so we're going to slap those down as insurance. Doesn't really matter. They are tapped out, and we're going to be able to win this game. However, they always quit before it happens, so interesting video. But let's get into one more, and hopefully we can actually connect with the boy. Alright, so thank you for making it this far, by the way. Hugely appreciate all the support recently. Okay, so third game. This is kind of a cool hand because we have the 2 reanimations, quotes around that. Refute is very important. We can also put Portal in there. Find our 4th mana. We don't have the Omniscience, which is the only thing we're missing. And typically you actually want to have a draw spell to immediately cast after that. Speak of the devil, this is what I was looking for, so... Okay, we're completely in business, actually. Pretty darn good hand. This is a pretty darn good hand, actually. Okay. Man, can we please actually do it? I want to connect with Calamity, so I have a clip for the intro. Okay? Can you let me do that, opponent? Please! Completely doesn't matter. Well... Actually, it does. We're gonna pitch Portal. I think that makes sense. Now, there's just implications to everything you do. There's just really the number of copies of the types of cards that you're trying to play. There's Arcavios. Good. Now, we can refute something. Hopefully find Omniscience. There she blew. So it's not in our bin, but we could get Portal, right? So the question really is, yeah, let's try it, right? Let's just bring back a Portal. No. I'm sorry. Let's just do the Omniscience play. There's no reason not to. There's really no reason not to. We're going to hopefully refute something. And then use our thing. Okay. Yeah. No outrageous robbery for you. You're not robbing me, boy. Okay, cool. So, refute not only counters them, not only draws us a card, but it puts it into the bin. Oh, no. Discard. We have Abuelo's Awakening, so we are not worried whatsoever. Okay, we also have the Frostcliff Siege, so we're completely in business. Wow, Bowsers. Okay, do this. Excellent. Search our sideboard. They're hitting us with disease. Now again, step between. Okay. Alrighty then. Lovely. I guess I won't get a clip for the friggin' intro then. You know what? I'm sick of this. Okay, so do I play one more? Okay, let's play one more. Let's play one more. 4 games for you today. They made it this far. You're one of the cool ones. Let's do it. Okay, so game 4 here. Let's see if we can actually do the thing. I actually did just lose one in between the last because, well, we just drew a bunch of cards. None of them were Omniscient, so we couldn't really do anything. Eventually, they just ran. They actually did the Hydra that doubles its counters when a landfall trigger happens, and they hit us for 16 on like turn 4, something like that. It was kind of hilarious. Okay, Royal. We got the Winternight Stories. Big fan, big fan. Pitch that in the bin. All we need is Abuelos or the other card. I can never remember their name. This is sorcery, so we're gonna do this. This is a draw 3. We are going to pitch this because every even like an extra land. Well, it's not extra yet. It will shuffle into our yard, which is cool. Sorry, our deck. I don't know why I tried looking at it. I thought I can't even talk. Excuse me. I seem to be having a stroke. Okay, we're gonna get the second white in case we need to cast this for some reason here. But we can do both chart and this right now. Actually, we just do both of these. Excellent. Okay. I mean, we're set up for repair and recharge. Okay, there's the Abuelos. So, completely disgusting stuff is already occurring. When you have this, yeah, when you have 3 like this, and then when you lay your Marang and they come back to your hand. Wow, okay. Alright, so we're going to be mana efficient here. This could also find, yeah, let's just be mana efficient. Omniscience. Don't surrender yet. Okay, we are going to Charter Course first. Okay. Arcavios? No. We are going to pitch this because that's a larger counter once we have our dragon. Whoa, hey, let me lay it for a normal thing. No, I did the wrong thing, but we got another one. Excellent. Okay. Wonderful. We're going to return that. We're going to say no to everything else. And we're going to get these back to our hand. So now you just recast them. And as long as we find our Arcavios at some point, let me do it. Let me do it. Come on. No. Anyway, that is. I'm sorry. I clearly am hyped up on coffee here. So you're gonna win a lot of games. You're gonna win a lot of games. So I hope that was somewhat interesting. I don't have much time. Let's play another one here. I'm still in my pajamas though. But yeah, you have Charter Course. You have these. You're gonna keep drawing. You have counter spells in case they want to interrupt you. You just have an opt as well. You can cast this by tapping your Marang for 1 mana eventually if we don't win this turn, even though we should. As long as you find your Arcavios, you should be able to do it completely and utterly. So it's pretty hilarious. It's a crazy deck. I wish I had more footage actually, but if you made it this far, I love you so much. I'll see you with another deck. It's probably going to be like a Boros United Battlefront deck. I think that's the name. The 4-drop that finds you up to CMC, up to 2 CMC, 3 or less non-land, non-creature permanents. So very strong with Urbras's Forge, Warleader's Call, Windcrag Siege, your Sheltered by Ghost, your Ossifications. All of this is going to help clear the way. If for some reason you can't immediately win, you have Elspeth in the deck. Stay tuned for that. Love you guys. Bye. Have a great day.